Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to chapter 3 of Valkyria Chronicles, Vasel Urban Warfare. This is a story heavy chapter, so we go right into it. Let's go!
In March of 1935, the Empire began its invasion across Gallia's eastern border. Maximilian, commander of the Gallian invasion front, built his army around mobile armor. Ghirlandaio and the other fortresses along the border fell to his tanks in quick succession. Bruhl's fall in under 2 hours was typical of villages in the Empire's path, and the road to the capital bore a steady flow of refugees. Randgries, Gallia's capital, a town secure and stable since ancient times. Within its walls stood the castle Randgries, and within its unicorn spire resided Cordelia, Gallia's princess. Supporting Gallia's policy of neutrality was a system of universal conscription. Under it, all schools required military training each year. In the event of a war, citizens were then drafted into the militia to defend their country. As the conflict with the East grew worse, both Welkin and Alicia found themselves no exceptions to that fate.
So these are my new digs. Oh, my uniform. I should get changed before reporting in. Better get ready now. Flares, binoculars, a compass, and a map. Everything you need for a nice hike. Or combat.
Welkin? Can I come in?
Sure, it's open.
Oh, you're already changed too. Let's see. Not bad, not bad. You look good, actually. So, how about me? Do I look all right in this? Convincing?
Let's take a look. Yeah, you look fine. You wear it like a pro.
Really? You're not just saying that?
Of course not. You look tough. I like it.
Oh, good. I was worried it looked kind of silly.
No way. That plating on the back, it's like a coleopterate exoskeleton. Beetle-tastic.
Colio what? And did you just say beetle? Welkin? What kind of girl wants to hear that she looks like a bug?
Huh? Not just any bug. A rhinoceros beetle. King of the insects. Who wouldn't want that?
Huh. I guess I'll just try to take that as a very Welkin sort of compliment.
Tell me about that scarf. You've been wearing it since I met you.
Oh, this? It's part of my uniform from the bakery.
Is that right?
I don't want to forget the time I spent busting my buns baking. I plan to keep wearing it until I can get back to manning the ovens again.
That's great. Once you do, I'll be first in line to get some of that bread.
Is that a promise? Well, I'll be sure to have plenty of it ready and waiting for you.
Absolutely. Hey, if you're ready, we should probably go see the captain now.
Yay, we're now drafted into the militia. Also, short note, because it just came to mind after seeing that again. Why does this country only have a princess? Because it doesn't mention the king or anything like that. It just mentions the princess, just like in any fucking Disney movie, right? Why doesn't the princess become the queen? We don't know. Actually, I think it's explained later. I forgot it again already. Let's continue, actually.
Come in. Excuse me, ma'am. Gallian Militia enlistee Welkin Gunther, reporting for duty.
Ma'am, Gallian Militia enlistee Alicia Melchiot, also reporting for duty.
I'm Captain Eleanor Varrot, commander of this regiment. Gunther, you're promoted to lieutenant. You'll be leader of Squad 7 now.
Ma'am.
Enlistee Melchiot, you're promoted to sergeant. You'll be under the lieutenant's command. Understood?
Ma'am.
What do you know? It is you. Nice coincidence, huh, Welkin?
Valdio? I had no idea that you'd enlisted.
Yep. Now that there's a real war going on, I joined up. Pretty much all the officer and training boys are here just like you.
You know each other.
Yes, ma'am. We knew each other at university. Welkin was in science and I was in archaeology. And just look at us now. No archaeology or science. Looks like the two of us are studying more, I guess.
Looks that way. It's good to see you.
And you.
That'll be all for now. There's a strategy briefing later today, but you still have time for you to catch up. You'll be spending a lot of time on the post and in Randgrees. They'll be your new home, so get to know them. That'll be all. Report back in time for the briefing. Until then, you're dismissed.
Alright, here we are. Welcome to the RPG part of this game. So, at the moment we have these options at our disposal. Squad barracks, where we can change equipment of our troops and view the members of our squad. The command room, which lets us choose which members we will fight in combat. The training field, where we will improve our units types. And at the moment we also have the R&D facility to develop new weapons for our troops and the tank. And book mode, which basically returns us through the main menu. So let's go into the squad barracks. Can we? Yes, we can. So, at the moment we have 4 members. Basically, these are all the story-relevant members. Welkin Gunther, Alicia Melchiot, Bridget Stark, and Largo Potter. You will meet these two very soon. And you can see their armaments, which type of weapons they use, their equipment, grenades, Ragnite, clothing. And also at the bottom you see this likes category, which tells you with which soldiers they work together the best. Because sometimes it triggers like special events if they work together, if they're close to other soldiers, which will boost their combat abilities. So you are incentivized to make a squad out of the members that like each other. But you don't have to. Also, if you skip to this part, you can see there's some like potential info, they call it. Potentials are things that can happen on the battlefield, like he's a nature lover, so being around nature makes his heart soar, bringing about a boost in his abilities. So sometimes if you run into like a foresty area, he will actually get a boost to his abilities. So it's like a passive ability. Calm heart, unshaken even and surrounded by foes, he remains calmly in command, enjoying a boost in his parameters. So these, every character has some of these. And some of them are actually negative. So, for example, Rosie has a desert allergy, which means if she fights in a desert, she might get a steady drain of HP. Oh, actually, this is a definite thing that will happen. So there's these small things you have to take care of if you assemble your squad. So let's back out and actually go into the command room. I'm not sure if you can recruit squad members yet. Let's see. I think we'll also get a tutorial.
It's good to see you doing the rounds.
Yes, we do.
This is the command room. Use it to structure your squad. You will have access to both drafted and volunteer recruits. Now that I think of it, Squad 7 is still short on soldiers, isn't it? I'll explain how this works. This is the master list. The recruits have all been assigned classes based on their talents. I should probably touch on the 5 classes, just so we're clear.
Yes, so here we get explained all of the classes, which is very cool. Let's hear.
First off, you have the scouts. Just like the name suggests, they'll be your eyes. Their best asset is their mobility. They can go out, collect intel, then make it back safely. That and a keen eye for enemies. A good scout can spot a man in tall grass from 100 yards. That comes at the price of firepower. Their job is spotting enemies, not taking them out. Next up, the shock trooper. They're the ones to break through enemy lines and clean up. They offer excellent offense and defense. As far as combat goes, they're as good as it gets. While they lack any specialized techniques, they also don't have any obvious shortcomings. Think of them as the least finicky unit in your squad. After them, we have lancers, then anti-tank units. They're critical when facing armored targets. Their purpose is pretty self-explanatory. In most cases, they're the only way to stop a tank. They're also well shielded from explosives, which conveniently includes tank mortars. Sadly, they're slow and weak to gunfire. Their limited ammo could also be called a drawback. Changing gears, we have the engineers. They handle supplies and perform combat support. They can restock other units' ammunitions, treat the wounded, even repair tanks on site. They can place sandbags for cover, disarm mines, repair towers, you name it. Their actual combat skills are very low. Think of them as combat facilitators. Lastly, we have the snipers. They can shoot down targets from a considerable distance. You won't find better soldiers for marksmanship and range. They can hit targets I can barely see. Sniping rifles also come with scopes that work to augment a sniper's natural eyesight. Drawbacks include low mobility and defense. If the enemy gets them alone, they're done for. That should cover the basics. Go ahead and put a squad together now. There's room for 20, and you can swap units at any time.
So, as you just heard, we have 20 slots. Well, actually only 17, because Alicia, Rosie and Largo already count as a slot. Welkin does not, because he's the commander. So, the thing is, even though you have kind of a choice who you want to get, as she said, you can swap them out at any time. So feel free to experiment with them, which I will actually do now, because I always have my kind of favorites that I get every time if I play. So I'll try to get some other guys. So, we have our squad. Might swap out some later, but that's good.
Well, feel like you've struck a balance? Come back anytime you'd like to adjust your squad. As time passes, we'll have more recruits to choose from, so keep an eye on that list. Oh, and all the recruits go through training together, so they're all ready for combat. They'll be at the same level as the rest of the team you've taken into the field. You can swap out members without the worry of losing the benefit of their experience. Trust in your own judgment and pick a team you know you can work well with. That should be enough to get you started. You can figure out the rest as you go.
So yeah, that's the thing I was talking about when I said pseudo-RPG.
Wow. Squad leader's a lot of
Because,
responsibility.
yeah, your guys don't get like individual experience, all get the same experience if you train them, which has advantages and disadvantages, I guess, because the advantage is that you get to try out all of the guys, basically, to get, you know, you don't get like to settle for 1 or 2 soldiers and then stick with them. But the problem is, of course, that you don't really get a benefit from sticking with a few of them through the whole game. So yeah, it's hit and miss.
Come to think of it, Valdio's heading up Squad 1, isn't he? I wonder if he's off sorting through this stuff now, too. I'd better get a move on.
Yes, and we should too, because we're already like 20 minutes in, and fuck, we haven't done anything. Training field, this is where we train our units.
Welcome to your worst nightmare. I'm the guy who's gonna whip you lazy blobs into shape. Still, I can't work miracles here. No amount of drilling beats real combat experience. I want you all to go out there, kick some imp tail, and then show me what you learned. I will train that experience into something you can actually use. Level you bums up. But don't go trying to hog all the glory. A squad's a team, and we got no need for stars. You will train as a class and level up by class. Scout level 2, Scout level 3. You get it? When the scouts level up, that means each and every one of them goes up that level. You hear me, maggots? Any of you think he's better than the rest of the team, go home now! All right. Now I'll show you lowlives how this whole thing actually works. It ain't complicated. First you go out there and fight, then divvy up that experience here. Once the experience you cram into a soldier class clears a set amount, it'll level up. Picking which class to level up and when is your job as the squad leader. Now give it a go.
Yes, we already have some experience.
Train all you want. I've got all...
Isn't he a charming fella? So yeah, here you have your classes, and you see how much experience it needs to level up. So, and then with A and D and assign experience. So for example, we'll level up the scouts, the shock troopers, and the lancers, because these are the most important classes for the first few missions, actually. Let's do that.
Bite the bullet! No pain, no gain!
And whoop! Level up! And basically they'll increase in stats.
Maggots. You're one level closer to human. Looks like that session beat a new potential out of the
And that happens as well. At certain level caps, all members of a certain class of troops gain a new potential. So that just happened for the Lancers, which is nice. So we have still some experience. Let's level the scouts one more, and actually also the engineers. And the snipers, because we have experience enough. Let's do that.
Bite the bullet! No pain, no gain!
There we go. Good work, maggots.
Looks like that session beat a new potential out of the sniper.
Yeah, we'll not be using snipers at the beginning very often. But yeah.
Got it? That's how training by class works. Now get out there and rack up some experience. Oh, and there's one more thing to add. Sometimes leveling up a unit class will unlock a hidden potential in them. You can think of potentials as the natural abilities your soldiers have inside them. Those abilities will form a big part of your strength in the field, so keep them in mind. Other times, leveling up a class will earn you clearance for a new order. Here, as long as we're talking about it, I'll teach you a classic, a real golden oldie.
Yes, orders are also a thing that you now have access to as a commander, basically. I'll show you that in battle.
Orders are special commands you can give out as the squad leader. They can save your tail. It doesn't take a genius to see that leveling up your soldiers is the best way to beef up your squad. The soldiers will get stronger, and you just might unlock new potentials and orders. All that just from me working you sorry bums into the dirt. I just hope you maggots are ready for a real workout the next time I see you here.
Don't get closer to the camera, please. Right, so that leaves us with one thing, and then we can go on. R&D facility.
Welcome to R&D, man. What can I do you for? Huh? Wait, I know that insignia. You're Lieutenant Gunther, aren't you? I knew it! Man, I've heard about you. That evacuation at Brule was just... wow! Protecting a tiny life in the middle of all that slaughter? Man! Oh, Lieutenant, you're good people. You get all my respect and then some, bro.
What's going on, Leon? I could hear you from clear across the hangar.
Oh, Casey, check it out! It's Lieutenant Gunther! He's the man, man!
Sorry about him, Lieutenant. He's like this all the time, I'm afraid. But where are my manners? I'm Priest Cherney. I'm training here as a mechanic.
Oh, and I'm Leon Schmidt, but just call me Leon, bro. I'm your boy.
So, Lieutenant Gunther, what brings you down to R&D today? We do work here on weapons development, making upgraded weapons and equipment.
And that includes rifles and machine guns. We can even soup up your tank. Of course, research expenses aren't cheap.
With rifles and other firearms, we'll mass-produce new models as they're developed. You won't have to worry about making enough for your squad. We'll outfit them.
For tanks, you can upgrade the baseline performance of the body itself, Or develop optional parts that you can add on to tweak out its specs.
Right. You can choose which optional parts you want in the tank equipment section. Come in anytime and make adjustments based on the needs of the operation at hand.
Yes, outfitting tanks. So we can, as they said, improve like the body enhancements, like we can improve the threats, the armor, and the attack, or we can add like additional parts to put our tank in a special direction. So let's skip over this. I know this already, and I explained it in a lot shorter reason. So develop weapons, let's do that first. So here we have all the weapons that our guys use. Rifles for scouts, machine guns for shock troopers, anti-tank lances, sniper rifles, hand grenades, uniforms, and blast suits. And our tank itself. So let's just show you. Here we have this, well, skill tree. So here we can, this is the rifle we have at the moment, the Gallian 1. So we can improve that into the Gallian 2, which does more damage versus person. And then later on we actually can branch into different sort of rifles. So one will have like more accuracy, one will do more damage, and I think one will have a special stats that will be applied when it hits. So let's just give this one an accuracy boost and be done with it.
All set for you, bro. It's done.
Right, so these will unlock over the course of the campaign. And so the same goes for these kind of weapons. There's a firepower boost for these for first.
It's done.
And yeah, let's just cycle through all of these. Firepower boost for the lances, because we have enough money for. I think it's
All done.
pretty much calculated like that. Accuracy boost for the sniper rifles, sure, why not?
Here you go.
And I think the grenades don't have a branch. Yes, they don't. And so have... Yeah, the uniforms also don't branch off because they're very basic armor increase. So yeah, there's some choices you can make. As I said, it's pseudo-RPG. It's not like a super deep RPG with skill trees and individual experience, but it's just enough, I think. And actually, if we go to the tank... So here's the body enhancements. That is the basic things that I was talking about. It's just base bonuses. So here we get plus 200 range, or frontal armor plus defense. Let's get the range for now. And then we can also go through this, threats and others. These are all also body enhancements. But we can also... go into into this, and if I choose one of these, you can see at the bottom there's a block size. So this is 1 by 1, this is also 1 by 1. I think they're all 1 by 1. Yeah. Okay, let's get one of these and I'll show you how these work. So now you see over there the Edelweiss, we have like an inventory. And now I can put my bulletproof visor into this thing. And later on, as you might guess, you will get body parts that actually have a bit of different shapes. So 1 by 2 or 3 by 1 and stuff like that. So you have to play like Tetris to get your most out of your tank. And you can switch these out at any time. So you can tweak your tank for the mission you're heading into. So that's cool.
Well, sir, was that helpful? We're working here around the clock to make possible tomorrow what's out of reach today. Come again a little later. We'll do our best to have something useful for you by then.
Yeah, you better come back soon, bro. I am all fired up to work on stuff for you.
Right, so that's all the modes we have for now. Let's return to book mode. My god, that took a long time. But I thought it was very important to explain. What? Hey, we're back. It crashed, goddammit. I don't know why, it never happened before, but yeah. So now we can switch into our headquarters every time we wish so to develop new weapons and level up our troops. Let me actually save you just for safety reasons, because that was a hassle to actually go through this process again. And sad note here, we couldn't recruit all the same troops again, because apparently they're random every time. So yeah, we got some other troops. You'll see them eventually. Let's actually look up one more story before we go into battle. No, actually we have spent enough time already. We'll see all the story thing and the battle next time. Yeah, I'm sorry, there's a lot of story in this chapter, and of course a lot of explaining to do, so yeah, next time we'll do a battle again. So yeah, hope this episode was not too boring for you guys. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next episode of Valkyria Chronicles.